Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Why am I nervous? This is gonna be a good video. So today, I don't know, I'm just nervous, okay? Because every time I say something bad about something, someone disagrees and it gets all angry and like it's cool. But anyways, today's video is going to be on the worst makeup products that I have tried in 2020. Now all of these except for one specific thing did come out in 2020 and I reviewed all of them in one way or another, and today we're going to go over the worst products of 2020 that I've tried. Now I will say these are my own personal opinions. We disagree on anything. It's cool. It's just makeup. It's not that serious. But if you did make any of these products work for you or you think they're good, please let me know down below because I would love to know what you find redeeming about these products, because this is just like the top 5 list with 2 honorable mentions of like the worst of the worst for me. So without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Also, I am neglecting lipstick. I just lip line my lips a little bit, but like these masks we have to wear everywhere has really made me neglect lipstick lately. Alright, so I'm gonna do this from like 5th worst up to number 1, and before we get to number 1 I'll do like 2 honorable mentions, you know, like on a Watch Mojo video where they do like, before we get to number 1, blah, blah, blah. That's what we're gonna do. So at the number 5 spot as the worst products of 2020 is the Stellar Beauty eyeshadow. Now I did a full face testing out Stellar Beauty products while they were at Sephora, and a lot of their stuff was just fine. Like the foundation was fine and everything. A lot of it was like okay, but their eyeshadow was so subpar to be in Sephora. I feel like the Stellar Beauty eyeshadow was subtle. It did a little something something, but I've seen Wet n Wild and e.l.f. products perform better than that, especially for that price tag. So Stellar Beauty, there's a reason it faded out of Sephora really quickly, went on clearance really quickly. It just, the brand was fine, but it was nothing spectacular, nothing I fell in love with from testing a bunch of the products, and their eyeshadow was just so bad. Like you can get like a $2 e.l.f. palette that is so much better than that freaking palette, and it was trying to be fancy and it really just was not up to that quality. I don't know how that brand got in Sephora in the first place. I'm not knocking the entire brand because again, most of it was fine, but it was nothing to like write home about, nothing I fell in love with, nothing I was dying to use again. But the eyeshadow, that's the one thing I'm knocking because it was freaking bad. So I would avoid that. Like the foundation looked okay, but yeah, the eyeshadow was just horrible. Blah, 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 blah. Would never recommend. I think I really tried to like that eyeshadow too, because everything else seemed fine in the video, and I really tried to like the eyeshadow, but it was just not. I never used it again after that video, so it was just not it for me in particular. So let's move on to number 4. The number 4 spot, I have the Bite Beauty foundation. This may come, it's called the Changemaker foundation. This may come as a surprise to a lot of you. This was like the most hyped thing at the time when it came out. I bought it on release, okay? Samantha Ravindal had talked about how to use it for months. She raved about it, loved it, and I trust her opinion. Y'all, if I've reviewed these things in dedicated videos, I'll leave them linked down below in the description box too in case you want to check it out, my like full experience of it. This foundation broke me out to a boulder on my face. There was something in that product that broke me out the next day, immediately. Like worst breakout I've had in like a century. But that wasn't even the worst part about it. If it just did a breakout, I was like, okay, maybe I'm allergic to one product, like one ingredient in the product, which never happens to me with foundations. But the foundation itself just looked on my skin. It didn't look flawless like it said it would. I feel like the coverage was subpar. It didn't really even out my skin tone the way I wanted it to, and it didn't wear well. So all of the hype, and regardless, the hype was sponsored too. It wasn't just like I tested this out and loved it. It was sponsored posts of the hype of foundation, which normally like I don't really mind sponsored posts because like, hey, if you like something, they're willing to pay you to talk about it, why not? But it didn't work for me. It didn't wear well. It didn't look good on my skin, and I immediately returned it to Sephora and got a better foundation, which was the Charlotte Tilbury Airless Flawless, which I'm wearing today and I absolutely love. So that one was just a fail for me, and I love foundations. I love different kinds of foundations, different finishes of foundation. That one was just not it, especially for the price tag, but the shade ranges were pretty good. At the number 3 spot, we have from my favorite brand, something that were $8 each, so I spent $16 to get both shades, and it was a mess. Now, my review did not have a very good reception because people were like, you don't have to blend everything out, blah, 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 blah. It's the freckle pins from Colourpop. I wanted to love these, that's why I bought both of them. Okay, I love the freck extra large I have, and I also got the Lottie London thing recently, the little freckle thing, and they're both really, really cute. Now I thought, like every other freckle product, these would be able to blend out. However, they don't. Here's both of the shades, which are pretty good shades. It's so like a big dot. No matter how light you touch, it's still a big dot, a big freckles. And they don't blend at all. Like they don't blend at all. Like I could go boop, 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 boop right here really quickly. And they do not blend out. Like they stay everywhere. They don't look good on top of foundation or powder. They don't look good underneath powder. They don't look good on bare skin. They just don't look realistic. It looks like you got something wrong, and they dried out so quickly. Now I did find a use for these immediately after using them for the review, and I hated them. I used them for like a very subtle brown kind of like slight wing, but not really a wing, just like a little flare off the end of my lashes, and it looked good for that. Both in a week. These things were like super dry, so I've been like keeping them shaken up and everything just to do that, and it's just not it. They were not good at all. So they don't blend, they don't look good under foundation, on top of powder or anything. They don't look good in any situation. They don't blend at all, and they dry up super fast, and they don't look realistic. So nothing about these is redeemable except it's some cute packaging. So I was super bummed. Waste $16. All right, number 2 spot is the controversial product, but it sucks. Like I really sure returned this. But I wanted to have all his palettes for some reason, so I did return it, and I thought it'd be good for references, but there's no reason at all for me to use this eyeshadow palette. It is the Mini Orgy palette from Jeffree Star. The main palette, very repetitive shades, but actually the quality of the all mattes are pretty good. This though, this freaking thing though, is trash. It doesn't even describe it. Like, they're just so gritty, and there's no pigment, and they're rough, and there's no pigment, and you can't get it to work. It's just a absolute train wreck. Even the icy white shade, which she has made really good icy white shades, like Ranch from the Conspiracy palette, that I love. Like, I love that shade. But this palette, what is this? I mean, honestly. So I did 3 looks on that whole collection and stuff, and there's only like, I think I got color out of maybe this shade, but like you just scrub and there are no pigments coming off, and you just, it's not good for any, it's just useless. This is useless. And something about these, a lot of people, I don't know if you can tell the texture up close, there's like gritty, I haven't used this shade, there's gritty grumpiness in there. They broke on a lot of people's shadows. Like a lot of them came, like these 2 shades came broken, and there's nothing about this whatsoever that was redeeming to me at all. So I won't ever be using this. I used it for the video purposes, and I will never use it again. It is trash, so trash. I hope if you bought that palette, this palette, you returned it, like that I should have. It was so bad. It's so bad. Like, he can do shimmers. He's done great shimmers, and he has great highlighters. The regular highlighters, only the regular Skin Frost are good. So why does he mess up a shimmer palette? I don't know. Okay, anyways, before we get to the number 1 spot, let's talk about 2 honorable mentions that didn't make my top 5 list of the worst products of 2020, but were not great. So the first honorable mention goes to the purple Super Brow from KVD Vegan Beauty, or Kat Von D, which I'm just going to call it Kat Von D probably. I like the Super Brows. I have the blonde one, I have the black one, and I have the magenta purpley, not purpley, like pinky kind of one. Aubergine, maybe? I don't know what they called it. I think it's the magenta one. They're all great. The purple one in specific and the wine red color, which were both the colors that I would use on my normal hair color, both go on clearance all the time, not the other shades. None of the other shades, which I have tested and they're beautiful, go on sale. These 2 shades go on sale, and it's because something about the formula of this color is just not it. So here is what it looks like up close. It's just a pomade. Honestly, like the black one, the blonde one, like everything else I have are so good, and these are just clumpy to the brush. It doesn't come off. It doesn't evenly distribute to the brows. It's not a creamy kind of pomade like everyone's used to. This is just clumps to the brush, and just, it's kind of like a slightly damp crayon, but it doesn't smooth out evenly. So something about the purple one and the wine red one I would avoid at all costs, but the other ones are so good. Like, they're so good. But yeah, the one is not good. The other honorable mention of worst products is the confusing Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. This was originally an HSN exclusive. was originally an HSN exclusive. There's a little nubby sponge in here. And then eventually went to Sephora and I was in there. Okay, launch, ready for this. I love Shape Tape. It's my normal concealer if I have to go out. So like I have to go out today, so I'm wearing Shape Tape concealer. This was not marketed the way it's supposed to be used. This was marketed as like, oh, Shape Tape's too thick or dry for your under eyes. Blow one Shape Tape. This really was marketed as like its own thing, and then when you get it in your hands or you like really look into it, it's supposed to be used in conjunction with your normal concealer. So you're paying the same price almost as the full-size Shape Tape for a little bit of glow with some tint to it that gets super, super messy in the tube. And it's not even like, it just gives you some glow, which is nice, but it's just a liquid highlighter that they marketed as a Shape Tape, which Shape Tape is known for being like full coverage moment. Like she's the girl, you know, she's Shape Tape. I don't know what they put a little bit of sparkly highlighter in here for and called it its own Shape Tape product. I don't understand. Don't get me wrong. It does its job. It makes your under eyes look a little more luminous if you want your concealer less drying. It's just weird to market as a Shape Tape thing, I think. Okay, drum roll. Can we guess the #1 worst product of 2020? Go ahead, think. You got it? It is the Becca Zero No Pigment Foundation thing, okay? What was that? I reviewed it and I was super excited. Like when I saw like this was coming out, like a sneak peek, and I was like, ooh, there's a clear foundation coming out. I was like intrigued. I was doubtful, don't get me wrong, because I'm like, how would that be a beautiful full coverage moment or even my skin turn out if it's clear? And then I bought it. And thank God I had a coupon for Becca's website from signing up for their email list, because it was like $36 for this zero pigment foundation that was supposed to perfect your skin tone, even you out, make your pores look minimized, do everything that a foundation does, cover everything. I don't know why it was marketed as a foundation. It was a jelly. Now you may say, oh, if it's supposed to even you out, maybe just use it as a primer. It didn't look good as a primer either. It didn't do anything for my skin except make my pores feel clogged as a foundation. And as a primer and putting regular foundation on top of it, it did not stick. It would not work. It was absolutely a mess. It felt like a jelly, gross silicone mess, and I don't like putting silicone on my skin. So yeah, it was just a wreck. I don't know why they marketed it as a foundation. I guess it worked. You can see it at your local TJ Maxx probably in like a month or two because it just came out recently. There's no way anyone actually liked that product as a primer or as a foundation, which it was marketed as. It did nothing except, I mean, make me angry, make me feel like I wasted some money, and come in a little jar instead of like a pump foundation, which was kind of cute and kind of odd at the same time. I don't know. It was horrible, and it was definitely the worst product of 2020, at least so far. They have like 2 more months to disappoint me, I guess, in the makeup world, but overall, like, nothing's gonna disappoint me more than that zero pigment foundation that was not a foundation. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it was a little bit mean towards these products, but I know these brands can do so much better. None of these brands I hate, by the way. Like, there's nothing about these brands that I dislike as far as like quality of products. Usually like every brand is hit or miss products, but usually like a lot of brands I do enjoy most of the products from, but these were just not it at all in any millennium, any like universe. It was just not it. I don't know. I hated it. If you liked any of these things, let me know down below. If you like the zero pigment foundation from Becca, I have questions for you mentally. I'm just kidding. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your worst product of 2020 in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.